we're bringing on guests.
I know.
That's gonna be like fun. That shit is gonna be exciting.
You think we're gonna grill them?
Hell yeah.
With questions and shit?
Hell yes.
I don't want nobody to come on the show if they're not kind of like the Breakfast Club, where they're not like
if they're
gonna be open and honest.
Up.
Yeah, I don't want that. Like,
I think we agree to that. I think
we're gonna be selective. So friends more like family. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
There's gonna be some. We're gonna put all our guests in the fucking hot seat.
For real. I don't want to scare y'all either. I mean, it's
no. I want to make them really uncomfortable.
Oh, man.
That's funny.
Did you guys see that P. Diddy gifted his mom $1 million and a fucking Bentley?
Jeez.
With the driver, full-time driver.
That's insane. Is that even legal? Like they say like can't you like legally not give someone else a certain amount of money?
I don't know if that's true, but I know that's
like
a tax loophole. That like I gifted this person money, now I don't have to pay taxes on
the money.
The money. Mm-hmm.
Shit, you guys want some money?
You
wanna hold down some money for me?
I would love some.
But you can't use it.
I don't know about that one. I don't know if that's gonna work.
No, yeah, I actually didn't see that, but shoot.
Yeah, it's something I want to do within like the next 2 years. I just want to gift my father some sum of money and just
I know,
be like, yo,
right? That must feel so good.
$1 million though.
Nah, like maybe 100,000.
I mean, if I'm on P Diddy's level, like $1 million, I'm cool on
that's
$1 million.
That's a salary from my parents. You know,
yeah, he's a billionaire.
He's a billionaire.
Yeah.
Oh,
is he really?
Yeah, he has a Revolt, Ciroc. He's a billionaire.
Wow.
He owns a TV channel.
I didn't know he owned Revolt.
Yeah, it's his. Revolt
Yo,
TV.
homeboy's out here. Dang.
Yeah.
I gotta say career advice from P Diddy.
50 Cent.
Yeah, 50 Cent is
He's
lit.
also too. He said that.
And he's from Jamaica, Queens. Shout out.
He said that he didn't start making money until after his rap career ended. He said you can't really make money until you're not working for it. He's like, when I was a rapper, I had to go perform a show. If I wasn't doing a show, I wasn't getting paid.
That's true.
He's like, as soon as he quit his rap career, he did the vitamin water. He
started
Power. Acting. You know, the acting. He's like, people don't understand. I killed myself off of Power. They're like, why would you do that? I'm still getting paid, and I don't gotta be there.
Yeah, facts.
You know, because it's about time now.
Wait, he killed himself off Power?
Oh shit! Spoiler alert! Spoiler.
I don't watch Power like that.
That's like season 2 or something. Like season 3.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, that's the goal, right? To get to the spot where you're just like chilling and like you get to the point where you're just you have an idea and you're like, let's create this, and then it makes you millions.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a fucking vibe. But yeah, what is up, friends more like family? Gonna get more seasoned, more it hasn't gotten less complicated though. For some reason, like,
does it get easier?
Does it? Someone in the comments, does it get easier? No, but we just want to remind you guys, our goal here, we are a group of best friends. We've been best friends for years and years and years, and that's what we're trying to give to y'all. We're trying to give a space where you could feel like you're just listening to a few friends and just like riding in the car with us, just chilling. And that's our vibe here. Like, we talk about some really controversial, we all have different opinions, and we are not shy to share them. So that's who we are, friends more like family. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, all of them. Everything will be linked. So check us out. But should we jump right into the topic of today?
Yeah, I'm here to talk about relationships.
Yeah.
Right?
Which is like so broad.
Yeah, it's super broad.
Super broad.
But that's why it's its own episode, right?
Yeah.
We want to talk about relationships. Like, we're talking about the meaty, greedy relationships, not like a friend or something like that. We're talking about like your lover.
Yeah.
You know, like
your lover. Your lover.
Let's go. Let's start with Faye. Faye, you single right now?
I am single.
Single as a dollar bill.
Single as a dollar bill. And to be honest with you, I'm not really looking for anything.
He says that next week he's in a relationship.
He said all the hoes stay away.
Nah, it's honestly like, I feel like in my past relationships, I'm the giver, right? Like Tuesdays with Maury, giving makes me feel like I'm alive. So I feel like I give. But I never give to myself. So I was just like, you know what?
Wow.
Let me just focus on myself. Let me give the energy that I would give somebody else. I want to give to myself.
Period,
That's
sis.
it. That's it, brother.
Period, brother.
Sis, like sis better. It made me snap. It made me want to snap. Yes,
sis,
sis.
give to yourself.
Yes, girl. Yeah.
So you just want to give to yourself right
Just
now.
wanna
You're
give
all
to
about you.
myself,
You're on the
yep.
you vibe.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm on that vibe.
Exactly.
Too. I'm on the Fabian train.
Oh, I was about to say.
No, not for me. I mean,
Alright,
no.
that's
I'm on that vibe for you
That's a good
I
little.
appreciate that.
as your friend.
I appreciate
That's a
that.
good little segue, Cass. How you doing in these streets?
In these relationship departments, well, I'm in a full blown hefty ass motherfucking
Jeez,
relationship.
hefty bag, the one that don't break.
hefty.
Hefty garbage bag, double lined or whatever. That shit.
Yes, I am in a relationship. It's honestly the best relationship I've ever been in.
Sheesh.
Yeah. It's the best relationship, best dating experience I've had. Like, it's just like, it's a vibe, my
There's a
relationship.
lot of pressure
to be
on moves,
honest.
man.
Sheesh, for real.
Yeah. No pressure.
Can't slip up now, boy.
Keep it
You
tight.
better keep that shit
Keep
tight.
that shit hefty. Yeah, but no, things are really good. Like, I haven't felt this like myself. Just this open to be me, like the good, the bad, and never.
That's beautiful. How long have you guys been dating?
We've been dating. Well, we've been like officially together for like almost 2 years. Wait.
2
Yeah,
years?
almost. We're going on 2 years. Like a year and a half.
Sheesh, okay.
Yeah.
Doesn't
but
feel that long.
I think like just dating, like just like where we like were interested in each other and we were like talking, like it's been a full 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Honestly, it feels like 4 years.
No, it does not.
Yo, when she told me like the year mark or whatever, I was like, that's wrong.
You're like, haven't you done that already? You know, it's funny because people either say like, oh, it only feels like you guys have been together for like 6 months.
Yeah.
Or other people say like, damn, it feels like you guys have been together forever.
'Cause I tried to mark it. And I was like, that. Oh, sorry guys. There's our train. It's our friends more like family train.
I like that. I like that.
It's a little train that passes by when we're about to drop a bomb. Yeah. When I tried to mark it, I felt like that I was out there. I was like, oh, that was like so recent. Like they haven't even made a year. But then like I think about it, and I'm like, yeah, shit feels like 3 years. Like they've been together a while.
Yeah.
It feels like that though, because even when you first brought him around, I looked at it like, oh, it's just like some guy that she's interested in right now.
Yeah.
And then it just developed quickly into a relationship without like
Right.
a bat of an eye, you know, like.
Yeah. We were dating for about 6 months when we decided to be boyfriend and girlfriend.
He just pulled
Like,
up on you like,
official.
yo, you mine.
He was like, you my girl, that's it. And I was
That's
like,
it. Period.
You're like off these streets.
yeah. It's like putting my whole clothes away. Like, oh, it was nice. But yeah, you, Danny?
I'm single. I'm single. I'm you know, like I spent a long time after my previous relationship, kind of like in phase boat of like not wanting anything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of like getting out of that place now because I feel like it took a long time for me to learn to love like myself in a sense of like what he's looking for.
Do you feel like you've had like a struggle loving yourself?
No, never.
Okay.
It's just in the sense of like
Getting out of a relationship.
yeah, I'm not a big like relationship guy or whatever. But it's more in the sense of like I've been in maybe like 4 relationships or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's more like in the last one I was like, all right, like it showed me a lot about myself that I was like willing to conform to make other people happy, things along that line. And I was like, all right, you know, draw the line in the sand here. It is what it is. I gotta figure out what I want and what makes me happy.
Yeah.
So it's not so much loving yourself, because I'm a very confident young man. It feels like
figuring out your non-negotiables.
yeah, exactly. Like the non-negotiables, what makes me truly happy, the understanding, things of that nature that like really attract me towards a person now.
Yes.
So things that I would look for in my partner prior, I now know I have it in myself. So like now I feel like I'm at a happy place within to where I can help make somebody
else.
happy as long as they're happy on their own. You know, like you spend a long time trying to make other people happy, but if they're not happy on their own, then You know, like it's a constant battle of you're taking away their happiness every time you take a step away.
Yeah.
And sometimes you need to take a step away.
Yeah.
For your own mental health, for whatever.
For sure.
And that's like a big thing. Like you're like taking away from them when in reality they should have everything they need to survive on their own.
Amen, brother.
That's facts. That's
so
such a good point. Because, like, nobody wants to feel, well, none of us three here, at least, none of us want to feel like we are the sole dependent reason of someone's happiness.
For sure.
That's how I felt in the past. And it was just, like, too much for me. Like, I didn't like that feeling. It was just like...
Yeah. It's hard because it doesn't allow you to be you. You know, you have to be this idea. You know, like whatever they want you to be.
Yes.
Because that's how you were in the beginning. Not saying that you should, like, stop doing all the little things that, you know, like, you know how they say, like, when you bag a girl, like, you did it, that's it. And then after you hit, it's like, all right, like, you know, no more tricks, you know?
Yeah.
But if in a relationship, it's like a big difference. Like, you have to keep doing those little things that made her fall for you.
Yeah.
Like, you keep doing them to keep that love there.
So you're single, you are getting to the point where you're ready to build something again.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
You guys are both single. Are we dating?
Yeah,
Are we
100%.
all
I'm not dating right now.
not dating? Do you want to date, Fabian?
Do I want to date? I don't think so. I honestly, like, dating in a pandemic, I feel like is hard on its own.
Yeah, right.
So I wouldn't even know where to start. I would be like, all right, what do I do? I don't want to get on the app. I don't want to, like, it's tough. So
that is
I'm
tough.
just taking it off the table for now. Just if it happens, it happens. But I'm just focusing on me.
Yeah, talking to a girl or trying to pick up a girl in a face mask. Probably not the.
Probably not.
Yeah, probably not the easiest.
I have some nice eyes. I feel like.
I mean, yeah.
Imagine going on a first date. You get there with your mask on, and it's like, do we kiss? Like,
I mean, I don't kiss on the first date, so.
Oh shit!
Wait, what'd you say?
Oh, he said he doesn't kiss on the first date.
Oh God, whatever.
I'll kiss on the first date.
All the time.
I mean, yeah.
Every time.
We got 98% ratio.
Oof.
Yeah, facts. Me too.
Like, I want to see what is it. You know, like what am I doing here?
What am I
yeah,
getting
like
into?
if our kiss isn't good, like might as well just not waste.
Not saying it has to happen, but it's like something like I'm not opposed to, and I kind of look forward to it.
Right.
If they're against it, then it's like, oh, maybe it kind of gives me a sign that like maybe the chemistry isn't there, you know?
Right.
Because to me, a kiss isn't that like knock it out the park kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah. Some people it is, you know.
That's the one thing I miss. I miss physical touch, but you know.
Oh,
shit.
you miss cuddling?
I miss cuddling.
Oh, Faye went straight into his love language.
Yo, my bad. Nah. It's true, but you know
I
what
miss
it is?
physical touch. I could hold your hand if you want.
Yo, please.
No, that's so valid though, because
Yeah.
I am
100%.
such an affectionate person.
Yeah.
Like I love that I do have someone to just like show affection to and receive affection from. Like I don't think I would do that well without it for like months at a time, you know? Like
It's rough, but you know, it is what it is.
yeah.
It is what it is.
Like rather take your solitude
Yes.
over just like a hug or some affection, you know?
Holding hands, Dan.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, for sure.
But to backtrack what you guys said earlier is just like having somebody else's happiness as your responsibility. That shit is toxic.
Yes.
That shit sucks, man. I feel like I could only speak for myself. You said it earlier. You've been in that situation before. I've been in that situation. Dan?
I've 100% been in that situation. But I don't think it's 100. I don't think it's toxic though.
You don't think it's toxic?
Nah, because it's something that the other person hasn't like learned yet. You know, toxic to me is like when somebody's doing some evil shit and they're doing it on purpose. Like when you have somebody eating out of the palm of your hand, and you know, like she'll never leave me. I'll cheat on those are toxic traits. I'll cheat on her and she'll never, you know, like she never gonna leave me. You know who I am, or like in a girl's position, like he's in love with me. Don't worry about him. You know, like. Those are that's toxic.
Extremely toxic. I mean, like poison could kill you the day of. Poison could kill you 2 weeks later. You know what I mean? Like it's just it's slowly. It's like I don't want to say it's a cancer, but it like slowly builds and builds and builds to something that I don't think it's healthy in a relationship.
No, yeah, for sure it's not healthy.
Like
100%.
What are we talking about exactly? Like the dependence?
The dependency is not healthy. 1,000,000%. What I'm saying, toxicity wise, is if they know, and they're like not willing to like damn, I'm dependent on him, and he's doing the most he can from me, I gotta find it within myself. If they know that, that's toxic. But if it's one of those things where, whether it's like how you were raised, the relationship with your father, like all the things that come into it, if you're unknowingly that way because of certain things in your life and you haven't realized it, I don't think it's toxic. They just don't know.
I disagree, because I feel like you cannot know what you're doing, but it still be fucking toxic.
Yes.
Like,
True. I see what you mean.
You know, like, you could not realize that you're affecting someone that way, because that might just be the way you feel, and that's like what you want to give and like what you want to do. But like, that doesn't mean that you're not being toxic. You know, like.
Right now, if you communicate that, like, I feel like what you're doing to me is like overwhelming, and then they realize it. What then?
If they realize, then yeah, that's like growth. That's learning.
That's growth,
they have to be able to like own up to that.
And if they don't,
then they're toxic.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That is what I'm saying. Like, if you don't give that person like your honesty and how you feel, and if there's no growth from it, that person has a toxic trait of like, you're mine. Like, you are mine. Like, I'm dependent on you because I see you in a certain light, and you have to be that way with me. And that goes into like things that I dealt with, which is like girls who are looking for a boyfriend ass person, right? Like a person who is just a boyfriend. Like, their sole job in this planet is just to be their man. Like, for real. And there's people out there that dependency leaks onto that. Like, it's just that. Like, whether it's a guy or girl, it has to be, you are this person for me, and that is it. Yeah. You stop being a son, you stop being a friend, you stop being all of that, because, you have to be mine. You have to be there when I want you to be. When I'm sad, when I need attention, like, and it's like,
right?
That makes me want to like crawl out of my skin.
I feel like
I'm like, oh, too much. Like,
that's what I feel like.
You're like, is it hot in here?
my breathing started to. As I talking about, I started getting flashbacks.
Yeah, like that right there is just like.
Yeah.
It's not good. I mean, for me at least. But I do know that, like, okay, it's all about perspective, right?
Of course.
Because I know that if there are two people that have that mindset, and it works. Like, they serve each other in that way. Yeah. Like, you're mine when I need you, and the other person is like, yeah, you're mine when I need you. And it's like, okay, bet. Like, they're like on that same page. For someone like me, that shit does not work. Like, I don't want you to depend on me. And I don't want to depend on you. I want to be able to rely on you.
That's
when
a big difference.
Like, there's a big difference in that. Like, I want to be able to rely on you when I feel like not only I need it, but like when I feel like you have the time for it. Like, I just feel like I'm not in a relationship for someone to complete me or give me something, or like, I don't know. I don't feel like my relationship defines me. Like, I am so much more outside of my relationship as an individual.
Like, you're just not just a girlfriend.
I'm not just a girlfriend. Like, I'm not just a girlfriend. I'm not just a girl who's like obsessed with her boyfriend and it's like all about that. And like I am so much more, like, and I can't be like, I spent a really, really long time of my life trying to like fit that mold of being, like the perfect girlfriend that's always there when you need them, that like we heavily depend on each other. We need each other, right? And like years and years went by and I was like, oh my God, this shit does not work for me. And it was so hard to like come to that realization that like, oh, this isn't the relationship dynamic that like that works for me at all. But I remember one time like an ex being like, well, I just feel like I need you. And I was like, I don't feel like I need you, but like I'm choosing to be with you, and like I want to be with you. But that whole like I need you type of thing, like I need you to be happy, I don't think anyone should feel that way. Like, because anything can happen. Like, aside from a person leaving you, it's like someone could die. Like, are you going to never move on? Are you going to stop existing? No. Like, you got to keep it pushing whether someone leaves or stays. That's my mindset.
So you feel that way about you right now? God forbid you were to go, you'd want Moody to move on and be happy.
Of course, yeah. Naturally, like if you care about someone, you're gonna be hurt, sad. Like I think it's important to feel those emotions, but I think like this might sound weird, but in relationships, I value like a certain level of detachment.
No, that's...
And I think a lot of people will agree with me.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people will not
disagree.
Well. Yeah, like...
Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's what I meant to say.
They disagree with me.
I meant to say a lot of people will disagree with me.
Yeah.
Like, so many people will disagree with me on
because
that.
they think it has to be, it has to be all or nothing.
Yeah, even my friends. Like, I look at my friends in relationships and I'm like...
No,
like my close girlfriends, they're like, when they get into a relationship, it's like all consuming. That is just their life and their love and like, that's great because that works for you. Like, and I want that to work for you.
Whatever works for you.
Whatever works for you. But like, it just that doesn't work for me. Like, I don't know.
The detachment is healthy, and I think that's what I'm going through.
So how do you feel like you balance that out, or like, what do you do? Like when someone is overly attached and you care about the person, like what do you do?
Have you been able to do that?
Have I been able to?
Like in your previous relationships?
In past relationships, I was able to do it. I think it really depends on the person. Like there was, I'm not going to drop any names.
Oh shit.
I don't want
to train? You
name drop.
You didn't train?
But there were certain relationships where it was just like, I did my own thing. You did your own thing. We didn't text. We texted each other good morning, texted each other good night. Like we catch up at night. You know what I mean? And for me, I feel like that may have been the healthiest for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you ever feel in a relationship like that like the person didn't care about you? Because I know a lot of people will be watching this and be like, if my man like handled me that way, I would just feel like he doesn't give a shit about me.
Give a fuck. Yeah, a lot of girls feel
Which
that.
I do understand.
Yeah.
I understand that feeling. Like, damn, he doesn't even want to check in on me throughout like the middle of the day. Like,
no, I mean we checked in on each other in like midday, but it was just like I was going to school full time and working. She was going to school full time and working, and it was just like we were just so busy,
consumed in your own life.
We were consumed in our own different lives that it just worked. And I think honestly, that's probably the most healthiest relationship that I was in. But things didn't work out for other reasons.
So you would say that's also your type of like relationship that you would desire.
That exactly. Like I don't want to talk throughout the whole entire day. Like, what's up? What are you doing now? Cool.
Right.
What else are you doing?
But like to say what you were talking about, did that person ever feel like you didn't care about them?
I don't think so, because we were just both consumed in our own lives.
Was there a conversation about it?
There was never a conversation. It was just like
it was just understood.
Worked.
That's when it's the best. I
hate confrontation. You guys know this. You guys are gonna know this. But it's just like, if we don't have to speak about it and it works, shit.
Yeah,
that's amazing. No, it's amazing.
Yes,
like
when it just flows.
Level
like,
of understanding.
You guys are like on the same page. You don't even have to have a conversation about it.
Is it different? Because I feel like there's a sense of I don't know the word I'm looking for, but there's like a sense of like it not mattering as much when you guys are not boyfriend and girlfriend. I don't know if this was a girlfriend or whatever, but like you get what I'm saying? Like,
that's a good question.
Like, does it matter if it's not boyfriend and girlfriend? Like, do you have to have a certain standard of communication time, whatever? I feel like it varies between relationships.
Yeah.
For me though, like this is a good segue. I've had 2 relationships out of the 4 or 5 that I've had where I was their only friend. Like, they had no girlfriends, they had nothing. So the fact that she was by herself and like anytime I wanted her, she was available because I was like her only friend or whatever, unless it had something to do with her family. It was cool to me in the beginning, but then it started to become like too much attachment.
Not cool.
Yeah, I slowly learned, but I was also young. Like I was like 15 or something like that.
Yeah, you probably partially liked the attachment.
Yeah, I for sure did in the beginning, and then like I slowly started to realize like when we started having conversations, how lonely it is. Right? It gets really lonely if you only can depend on one person, and if that person's busy, then you're by yourself. you know. So it can get very lonely. So I would like emphasize like, yo, go, you know, hang out with this person. You know, aren't you friends with this person? Go do that. Go do this. And it was like, nah, like I only want to spend my time with you. And I didn't know how to say that the feelings weren't reciprocated without hurting her feelings.
Yeah.
But I was also very young.
Because then that becomes like the dynamic of your relationship.
Yeah.
Like the relationship is just you two focusing on each other. And that's also a good point like that I'm thinking of now, is that when you change in a relationship, it can be difficult to change the dynamics of the relationship. And for me, that's why relationships haven't worked out, because I need room for change. Like, I change a lot, you know, like everyone changes. Yeah. People grow. And for me, that's so important. That's actually one of the first things that I told Moody. Like, when we talked about, like, what our ideal relationship looked like. And I was like, my number one thing is, like, I just need room for change. Like, I need you to be open to accepting me changing. And I really want to be open to accepting you changing. Like, I want to be able to work together. Because, like, I feel like that's the only way relationships last in a healthy way. You know, plenty of relationships last and they stay unhealthy and it's like they just ride it out. But like, I want my relationship to serve me, you know, throughout all my life changes. Like when I become a wife, when I become a mom, when I become a business owner, like when I become, you know, all about my career or all about my kids, or like throughout all those changes, you know, like I just feel like it's so important to feel safe. Like I can change. Like that makes me feel safe, you know? Because if it feels more like this is love. Yeah. Like, you don't love me for who I am right now as a teenage little girl because I'm like, you know, this perfect mold of what you want. But God forbid I try to go out of that, and then it's like our relationship comes crashing down.
Yeah. Yeah. Can I ask you, in the beginning when you had that conversation with Moody, to now, how much do you feel of that was he already attained, like he was already that kind of person, to how much he changed to fit exactly the love you needed?
I feel like he became like what I needed before I got there.
Like on his own self-growth.
On his own, but also from his last relationship. Like, I could almost like see how he was in his last relationship, and that's someone that like I would not be emotionally attracted to. Yeah. Because he would just kind of like lay down, like, and he told me, like, he would just kind of like lay down and take things to avoid conflict. And like, I don't like that. Stares at Fabian.
Oh, no, she said it. She looked around like, why she like, why she looking at,
No, but like that was the thing, is like he, like, things would become problematic, and just to avoid a problem, he just like wouldn't stand up, from what he told me. So, you know, I don't know how things were, but from what he told me is that just to avoid a problem, like, he wouldn't stand up for like what's right, like he wouldn't say things or what he believed in, you know. And like, I don't care to be with someone like that. Like, I want to be with someone who wants to stand up for their beliefs, for what they think is right, whether it's like smooth for me or not, you know. Like, I like that because it shows me like you know who you are. And so yeah, I think he developed that from learning from that relationship and being alone after that relationship, and just like valuing his own time. I think he learned a lot about himself being alone as well. And then when I met him, it was like we were both like on the same page. Like, we kind of just like became like flourished in like who we are.
That's beautiful.
That makes sense. Yeah, I just wanted to know that, because like it's the journey that Faye's on now, what I've been doing for like the last 3-4 years, you know, and then the time you took to figure out yourself, you know, like it's very important towards your future relationship, right? Yeah. A big thing for me is I don't like, I feel like our parents, or like not necessarily our parents, but that generation was so quick to settle.
Oh yeah.
You know, like, oh, the person has a good job, you know, like, oh, he's not that bad looking, like.
Yeah, I mean, all of our parents got married super young.
Super young, and like they were just like, they took the flaws with the good and the bad, and like, and I feel like a lot of women-driven relationships, you know, where like your mom, or you know, like the matriarch in the family is like the one with the power. Mm-hmm. Like those are the ones like the dad is just like, hey, it is what it is. I've gone through 22 years like this, like fuck it, you know, like, and I feel like that a lot of that comes from settling. So like my big thing is I don't want to settle. Like I don't want to be like, yeah, like everybody has their flaws, you grow, all of that, but something that's like detrimental to what you believe in, like I feel like that's huge.
Yeah.
And fun, you know, and I also want to be one and done. And just one, you know, like I want to get married once.
One wife.
Yeah, like not saying that is going to happen or that is going to be my life, you know.
Who knows?
Who knows? It could be drawn up in like 7 wives. Who knows? But like that is my like what I'd like. I like one and done, you know. Married, one person, kids.
Yeah.
Dude, like I know people who have 4 different baby moms and shit, and it's like.
But I don't think they planned that.
I don't think they did, but they were okay with
they were,
you know, they were okay with the fact that like, all right, this one didn't work out. Let me go make the same mistakes with a different person. Like it's kind of like that same.
Some people don't go out of their way to avoid those situations.
And it's like, dude,
they don't necessarily plan it, but like they're not really trying to avoid it either.
You gotta look at it like you gotta strategize like you would like in a business, or you gotta do that with your life too. You
so
know, like,
do you think that makes you too like picky?
Well, I mean that's a good point. I've always felt like girlfriend. I've been very picky. I've only had 5 relationships. You know, and I've dated.
That's a lot.
4 relationships.
How many have you had, Faye?
I've only had 2.
No way.
So he's a lot pickier than I am.
3.
Wait, okay.
3 relationships.
High school girlfriend.
High school girlfriend.
Girlfriend after that.
Girlfriend after that, and girlfriend after that.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Why do I feel like you've been in way more relationships?
Oh, it has been 3. I've been in 4.
You've been in 4. He's 3. He's 4.
I think mine are long-term relationships.
I think we gotta switch seats.
2, 3, 4. Yeah.
Do you guys think you guys were ever the toxic person in a relationship?
No comment. No, yeah, I definitely feel like I was.
Yeah.
But not in the way that like people would assume. Like I don't think I was toxic in a way that like I was like purposely being toxic. That's why I said before, like you could be unaware like that you're being toxic, but that doesn't mean you're not being toxic, you know? But for me, I think my toxic wasn't the kind of toxic that it was like I would, you know, like purposely hide shit.
Yeah.
Or like try to fuck him over, or like, you know, like I wasn't like that. But for me, my version of toxic like was that I was so scared to speak my truth because of how it was going to make him feel. Like I was so worried about hurting his feelings. So in turn, that made me lie a lot. Like I lied about what I wanted. I couldn't even like in the end say that like I don't want this because I'm not in love anymore. Like because I was so scared to like hurt someone else's feelings that it caused me to lie like about how I felt and about what I wanted. And then in the end it was like I was just a fucking liar. You know, like yes, my intentions were because I didn't want to hurt him, but like intentions are not, like a liar is a liar. You know, like I lied about what I wanted, what I didn't want, because I didn't want to hurt his feelings. And I feel like that was really toxic. Because I don't know, I just feel like I would rather someone hurt me and tell me the truth rather than waste my time and like drag along this thing that doesn't have to be dragged along, you know? But then again, I don't know, it was like that was a process that I had to go through. Like I was truly scared of like speaking my truth because I didn't want to hurt the other person. But in the end I ended up hurting him worse because it was all such a shock. Like it was just like, what? You know, like this is who you really are. And then I was like, I'm fucking free. You know, but it was just like I could have done it in such a better way, in a way where like I was just owning how I felt, but I was too scared to do that. And I do feel like that made me toxic. So it's not like, you know, toxic that you like hear about, like But I feel like, I don't know. I feel like that's a version of being toxic.
Was that your only toxic relationship?
Like, actual...
I mean, no. It doesn't necessarily have to be... Even though I said we were going to talk about the meet and greet or whatever. We know you've only been in 2 relationships, the one you're now, not in the previous one we're speaking about.
Yeah.
Have you been in dating? Just another...
Yeah.
Yeah?
Hell yeah, dude. When I was single, I was like, hashtag toxic.
Oh, you were the toxic again.
No, like, I just liked, like...
Toxicity.
Yeah, like, I like, when I was single, it was just, like, messy situation after messy situation. Like...
Why do you think that was?
I was just wilding out.
She also, I mean, to her defense, she was in a relationship for a long time.
I was in a relationship since I was 15 to, like, 24.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So 15 to 24, like, I think I deserve some fucking walling out, okay?
Yeah, for sure. So you were in that. And
I was going brazy. Like, I was, like, out here.
Crazy. Jesus Christ.
No, I mean, like, I wasn't doing anything, like, shit got crazy. Like, I was just so free that I like didn't know what to do with all this freedom.
It was like trying to live out all the experiences you live out in a 9-year span in 3 months. 1 summer.
No, it was like it was a good chunk of period of like.
Is it for some reason this high this like held in high regard summer of 2016 by any chance?
Partially that.
Okay, alright.
Summer 2016 was beautiful, bro.
Yeah, summer 2016. But then like after I had gotten back with my ex after that summer, and then after we officially broke up, then I was just like,
you were out here.
Fuck what you heard. Like,
2016.
Yeah. So I was, but you know what? Like, although like there were so many messy situations, so much like just all over the place, I had so much fun. And not one bit of me regrets it. Like, I am so happy that I experienced that. Some situations I think back and I'm like, oh my God, that was too much.
That's fine.
But I'm also like, I'm so glad I did that. Like, I am so glad. Because I also learned during that time how much I actually value a really peaceful relationship. And like, like a really peaceful, chill relationship. Because before that, I used to think like, oh, I need something exciting, right? Like, I need excitement. Like, I truly thought that. So then I got excitement and I was like, this is getting too much. Like, this is too much. It was just like constant, just like toxic, like just too much. So it made me realize like, okay, I could chill out,
What about you, Faye? Have you ever been in a toxic relationship?
I think I was a toxic person for the most part. Like, back what Cassidy said, and back to what I said, I hate confrontation a lot. So I just wouldn't say things because I just didn't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
And that shit just ended up hurting the person because I wouldn't speak upon it. And then, like, when it was too late, I'd be like, yo, I don't like you did that. They're like, why didn't you tell me? And I'm just like, you should have caught a vibe. I don't know.
That's your fault.
That's your fault. You didn't see the signs. They were there.
He's like, I didn't tell you that.
And I was honestly also toxic to myself. Like, I feel like I would be with somebody who didn't want to give me shit back. Like, they wouldn't want to give, right?
And you knew that from the jump, but still went
not necessarily from the jump, but like I'd be chasing, right? Mm. And then over here I have Cindy Lou who just wants to give me everything, and I'm just like, nah, you like, I'm out over here. Like, the chase was just, and I was toxic to myself because it was just, I was chasing something that I knew wasn't impossible, but wasn't, I don't want to say realistic either, but it just wasn't gonna happen.
It wasn't what attracted you.
Correct.
Like the chase is what attracted you. Like, the girl who don't want you is like, I'm gonna make you mine.
The chase is good though. I get that.
Chase is fun. The chase is fun to an extent.
Yeah,
exactly.
She's not interested. She's not interested though.
Until it's not fun anymore.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh man.
Yeah, no, that's like a very thin line,
Slippery slope.
Yeah, it's a slippery slope.
Those are my favorite kind of slopes.
So we have 2 snowboarders here, so they like the slippery slopes. But yeah, no, I don't think I've ever. Thank you for asking me, guys. But I don't think.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you.
I don't think I've ever. Let me scratch that. I have been in a toxic relationship. I don't think I've ever been the toxic one, to my knowledge, right? But hindsight is 2020. I look back at it now, and it was like sometimes I feel like I could have done more for them to understand where I was coming from, and then sometimes I feel like I did a lot, and they still didn't understand where I was coming from. You know, so it was like a big like, you're doing a lot, and they're still not getting it. What the fuck is the point of continuing? You know?
Yeah.
And then that leads to like the relationship becoming toxic, and my biggest thing on my previous relationship was it was toxic in the sense that I felt like I was changing for the worse. You know, like.
Yeah, that's definitely bad.
I know for a fact that like I know who I am, right? Like I have a temper, you know, like I can get to that level, but it's hard for me to get to that level. It takes a lot of poking, like a lot of badgering, I call it. So I feel like she used to badger me, like beat me down with words until I got to her level. And I was like, oh, this is what you wanted? You know, like, I'm, like, fucking hot. And I'm, like, angry. And then it was like, oh, okay. Like,
is she okay?
She's 100% fine.
She's Hudson River right now.
No, but it was like that, where it was like, yo, I'm losing myself. I felt it. Like, I was like, yo, like,
yeah, that's
I'm not an angry person. Like, I used to look at my friends and see them get angry at stupid shit. I'm like, that's not me. Like, I'm very easygoing, like, all right, like, guys, let's look at the positive in this, or, you know, like, oh, you know, like, and then I saw myself, like, fuck, like, and it was, like, it got to a point where, like, the toxicity was, like, overbearing, but what kept me there was let's talk about sex, baby, let's talk about you and me.
Oh my god, are we starting a band?
No, but it was that, you know, like, the sex kind of like kept me
that
there.
WAP.
Cause yes, man, that WAP.
The slippery slopes.
I'm on that kind of slippery slope. Yeah, it was that, yo. Like, for me, it was like, yo, like the sex was fire. You know, we both felt that way, and like I don't know as far as how she felt on my toxicity, like what I brought to the relationship.
I'm sure she felt like you were toxic.
I'm sure, because she, like, the things that she fell in love with me for was what she hated the most at the end. You know, like, wow, I like that you get along with everybody, that outgoing, you know, all that. It's like, oh, you're talking to too many people. Oh, and it's like, yo, like, this is what you love me for, you know, like, and that's a big problem that a lot of relationships run into.
Yeah, I see that a lot.
Yeah, me too.
I see that a lot.
That it's like someone who's like a little insecure will meet someone who's like super outgoing and all confident and loving and friendly with everyone, and then that's the same things that they're like, yo, why are you so friendly with everyone? And then it's like, you met me this way, like you used to say you love that about me,
and subconsciously they try to take you down a peg. Ugh. You know, and that's the worst, because this is somebody you love. Yeah. You know, like, you're hurting somebody you love subconsciously because you want them to
fit your insecurities.
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly, like, we were talking about this the other day, and I was telling Danny and Fabian how I feel like I take a lot of responsibility. I take almost all the responsibility for my last relationship ending, because I was the one who wanted it to end. I was the one who, like, was just not in it anymore. And I feel like I always take the brunt of it. Well, actually, I didn't feel that way until you guys both told me something. Like, I was like, you know, I did this and I did this and I didn't want it anymore and blah, blah, blah. And then you guys were like, okay, well, like, what's the other side of this? Because, like, it wasn't like you were the devil and the other person was an angel, and that kind of, like, put things really into a different perspective for me, because everything that I do, like, I take a lot of responsibility for it.
Accountability.
Yeah, like, I was taking the accountability, because I'm not trying to blame someone else for, like, how something turned out. Like, I'm only looking at mainly what I did and what I could have done better, which caused me to, like, take the accountability, you know? But then when I think about the other side of it, I was like, wait, actually, there was a reason why I got to this point. you know, why I felt like I had to lie, why I felt like I couldn't speak my truth. Because when you give room for someone to speak their truth, they feel comfortable to do that, right? But when you're like, this is how you should feel, this is what I like, and this is, you know, you shouldn't like that, or you shouldn't want to do that. When you're telling someone that, they're not going to necessarily feel the most comfortable to be like, actually, I feel the complete opposite, you know, like, so, and that was my dynamic with the last person that I was with. It was very like, in a sense, like I felt controlled a lot of the time. I felt like if I would be like, oh, well, have you ever thought about this? Or like, I feel this way about something. It would be like, what? Like, why do you feel that? Why are you even thinking about doing that? Like, why would you want to go out here? Why would you want to hang out with those people? Like, it was very like judgy.
Yeah.
So as much as I take responsibility for me being toxic and like all the lying that I did, I wasn't the only, I've realized now after having that conversation with you guys that I wasn't the only one that like contributed to that, you know? Like I didn't feel the freedom to speak my truth because of how that person reacted.
The overbearing.
Yes.
Yeah. It's cause and effect, right? Like everything has a cause and effect. It's amazing that you don't look at that person and go, that is why I reacted this way, or but at the same time you can't always take the blame,
right,
because you're enabling. If you always take the blame, then it's like the reasons why this and this are happening to me. Like it has to be a healthy balance of accountability towards yourself, and also realizing that you're not the only person on this planet. Like there's certain actions, certain causes that affect you and make you realize and make you do things that's maybe normally not like you, which was just happening with me. Faye, have you ever stuck it in the mud because the sexual healing?
I'll be honest with you, no.
Really?
You never kept things going because the sex was good?
You know what? I'm the type of person who has to be like emotionally, like to be honest with you, I can't have sex with just anybody.
Oh no, brother.
Like you, like
I'm like sad for you. I was like, oh no, brother.
Oh no, not me.
Oh, no, I really have to be like emotionally involved with that person to be like, let's do this. Let's get it on. Like, let's get it on. And like in relationships, when it neared the end, like I feel like they knew.
Let me ask
like
you
you stopped wanting to have sex with them?
Yeah, it was just like
I was just about to ask that. Did you ever have sex when you didn't want to? No, like they want to have sex and you were just like mad at them about something, and you had to have angry sex. Not like angry where you're like,
die, bitch.
Just smacking around. No. I mean, yes, but that's not what I'm talking about. I mean, in the sense of like, you guys had a serious argument about something, and she's trying to make it better through sex, and she's throwing it back on you or something. No. You know when they do that move? No, I'm
playing COD. I'm jumping on Xbox. Nah, it's just, it doesn't do it for me. Like, I feel like we just have to have a conversation about why we're arguing. And then makeup sex is fire. I love makeup sex. But we just have to get through this argument, get through this patch.
Wow, so you've never had sex when you didn't want to?
A dude's a dude.
That's crazy. I've had sex when I didn't want to. I'll give it a stack.
Really?
Hell yeah.
You've had sex when you didn't want to?
Well, yes.
I feel like guys don't do that.
Like,
I feel like that's a much more common thing for girls.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like when the guys like, 100% I agree with that. But in the sense of, I didn't want her, like it was like I was mad, like we had an argument, and I was mad at how easy she was to blow up, and then all of a sudden it's like calm as a feather, and now she wants to cuddle, and now she wants to throw it back, and it's like, nah, you got me tight. Like, you know exactly what you did. You fucking pulled all the triggers. Now I'm angry. So now I'm having sex. And the only reason I'm doing it, even though I don't want to, is because the toxic sex was good. Like, it was...
Ew.
You never been in that situation? Obviously, you said you've had sex when you haven't wanted to.
No, yeah. Like, I've had sex when I haven't wanted to. But I don't think I've ever had, like... I've never had angry sex. I've definitely had like toxic, like, like toxic sex, like where it's good because it's bad, but like, or it's good because it's wrong.
Yeah, it's good because it's wrong, not because it's bad.
Yeah, but I've never had like
That's
angry sex. Or not that I remember. Like, I don't remember having sex like when I'm like pissed off and then like, you know, I've never done that.
Wow.
Yeah, because if I'm pissed,
I
I'm
feel
like
that's really common. You're just like not. I mean, it also depends on the person. Like I said, I'm easygoing. So you get it going easy. You know?
You're easygoing. You get it going easy.
Get it going really easy. No. But yeah,
But you have said no before.
Yeah, of course.
How do you say no as a man?
No.
Just like
no quiero.
No quiero. No, and you do the stupid like.
Stop.
No, wait, you've actually said like, no, I'm not doing it. Moody has told me that too, and I was so shocked.
You just said no?
Yeah, that like there was a girl that like was like, come on, like you know, like let's, and he was just like, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
I was like, what? That is so hot though. Like to know that a man has the power to be like, no, we're not doing that, because I feel like in society, like men are very unlikely to say no.
Yeah, it's sex.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, like fuck it, like I'm gonna just get some, you know.
Some real quick, add it to the count.
Yeah, like so it kind of like seems that way. So when you hear that a man like says no, it's like, oh my god, you have self-control. Excuse me, okay.
Yeah,
you
but
know,
it's one of those things like going back to what Faye said before about like not being able to have sex with everybody, like being very selective. I'm in a sense that way. I'm just more like, if I'm attracted to the person, like I can see myself doing it, you know, after a couple of drinks, whatever, like I'm in. But like if it's a girl who's just like throwing it at me already, like I'm kind of unattracted, if I'm being honest. Like,
oh yeah,
yeah, like she's throwing it at me, I'm a little unattracted.
It's unless like too much.
Yeah, unless I'm attracted to that person.
It goes back to the chase, brother. It goes back to
true. The
I
chase.
get that. Yeah, you need to feel like it's exclusive. Like you want to feel like, oh, that's a little hard to get. Like
yeah, for sure. But I don't know. It's weird, because if I look back at my the relationship, it was like when it went downhill, I feel like the sex started getting better and better.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know what
that puts you in a tight spot.
Yeah.
I had like a moment of that, but it didn't last. Like it was just like a very short period of it, but at the same time, like deep down, I was just like, this is like toxic, like attractiveness, but like I know I really bottom line don't want to fucking be here. Yeah, so like it's like, you know, the bottom line, but you might entertain it for a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. And it was kind of like that for me. You know, maybe it was because like psychologically speaking, I was figuring out the type of sex I like. It started becoming more aggressive, and you know, a lot of choking and stuff like that. Handcuffs, lasso, tied to the bedpost. You know, like
Jesus.
What else, bro?
Dildos, butt plugs,
no,
anal beads.
Okay.
Getting pegged.
No, se pasó.
Peg.
You guys crossed the line there. But no, I've probably done it like with two different people.
Gotten pegged?
Toys. No. You just use toys. Yeah, so like it's only been like two people like use toys with, like vibrators, like two separate girls, you know, dildos, stuff like that. I've never, nothing crazy.
I haven't done anything crazy with toys, but I love like when a guy is open to
hell yeah, experiment,
to the toys, to everything. Like I think that makes it so much fun.
Yeah, tie them up, you know. Yeah. Like you just caught a lamb.
You know, I've yet to do that, and I'm like, I really want to do that.
You want to be tied up? Like
I really want to be tied up.
Like, you know what kind of tied up we're talking about? Like what's that called? There's like a certain type of...
Yeah, like the bondage type shit.
Yeah,
where they like know what the fucking knots are and everything. Yeah. Like I would love to be tied up like that.
It's crazy.
Wild.
So let me ask you a question, Cass. Do you feel like toxic sex is better than healthy sex? I'd ask Faye, but we already know how you felt before.
Hey, I'm biased, dog.
I absolutely do not feel that way.
But can you recall on all your amazing sex moments? Like if you had a top 10 of your amazing sex moments?
Let's roll them out.
I don't have like flashbacks right now, but like your top 10 is toxic sex in some of those? For me, it's like it's up there. It's definitely like,
yeah,
I remember some of my top 5, so it's up there.
Damn, top 5.
Like 5.
No,
it's
like
5.
honestly, my best like sexual moments have been like when it's like super safe and like not toxic. Like, don't get me wrong, there's been like some great toxic sex moments, but I wouldn't put them like at the top of my list. Because then there's bad things tied to it. And for me, that does like play in my head.
I got you.
Like, I'm like, if I think about like, oh yeah, like that was so like nasty and hot, and then I'm like, ew, I never want to think about that person again. You know, like I'm just like, oh, I shared energy with them. Damn.
Yeah, that's a big thing, right?
Fucking cleanse and shit.
That's a big thing, and that goes back to what Fabian was saying before about like when you have sex with somebody, you're like sharing energy. You know, like a part of you stays with them or whatever. Especially
like women, like that stays like in your womb, or like a lot of people believe that.
Okay, I was about to say.
A lot of people, it's not necessarily like proven, but a lot of people believe that sexual energy like really sort of like hoards itself in a woman's womb. And it's like, to a certain extent I believe it, to a certain I don't, but I mean, either way, sex is sex, and like you feel that shit. Like when you're not supposed to be having sex with someone, it might feel good and hot in the moment, but afterwards, like you feel it. You're just like, that wasn't it, you know? Like,
you know exactly what I'm about to say.
It's like the post-nut clarity.
Post-nut clarity, that's it. It's the post-nut clarity.
It just for women, I think, in my personal experience, it takes a little bit longer to have post-nut clarity. There was only one time where it was immediately like, fuck.
For me, it happens not all the time, but the times that
all the time.
All the time I have sex. No, the time specifically that it's happened to me, it was like immediate. Like as soon as
that's still
it shrivels back up. You know what I'm talking about, Faye?
I do not.
As soon as it's just not. It's not go time anymore. You're like, holy shit, what have I done? It's just I don't want to reiterate what we said in the first episode, but just so you guys and everybody's clear,
right? Because
PNC is a real thing.
Yeah, because then it's like everything that comes after that. So basically, to answer your question, I absolutely do not think that toxic sex is better than healthy sex, because like I've had just like so much better experiences that have like good memories attached to them when I've had healthy sex, rather than like really hot nasty sex, and then I think about everything that was attached to that and I'm like, that sucks, you know? So for me, that's how I feel about that.
Yeah, same.
How about you?
I'm the same. Like I feel like I enjoy toxic sex. Well, I enjoyed. I don't plan on having it ever again.
Even though it's don't we all say that?
Don't we? Even if it is up there, because it was like Cassidy said. Like for me, maybe it was just like the actual sex was good, and it wasn't so much on like emotions and all that involves being with somebody. Like the sex was actually good, you know.
Right.
But for me, anytime I think about like my greatest sex moments,
the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, like when I go down the Hall of Fame of my greatest sex moments.
Drop names.
It's basically there's no more train. It's basically like think about it like during healthy relationships, and it was like hot nasty sex, but it was during a healthy time of my relationship. You know, like
right.
So it was like this amazing, great thing. And also was surrounded by having a good time right after the sex, having a good time before the sex. You know, like
exactly.
There was no bad.
Exactly. Okay, question for the both of you.
Let's do it.
If you had to choose healthy, like okay-ish sex, like you come, but like it's not like the best sex in the world for the rest of your life, or extremely toxic, amazing sex for the rest of your life, which one would you choose? So like average healthy sex, or really amazing, like terrible for you and your soul sex.
Good, I'll let you answer this one first.
Yeah, no, I think healthy sex, because I feel
healthy. Don't just say healthy. It's healthy mediocre
it's healthy,
sex.
I'll go with healthy mediocre sex, because me dealing with a toxic person for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Like the relationship doesn't have to revolve around sex completely. It's healthy.
Yeah.
I love sex. I love sex.
I love sex.
Hey everyone, I love sex.
I love sex.
But it's not everything. Like I just rather be mentally healthy with that mediocre sex.
Yeah.
Fuck that toxic shit.
Heard you.
Over that.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. I was talking with Faye, like off the air before we started filming. Like I feel like the person I end up with has to have a high sex drive because I have a high sex drive. Now that doesn't mean that it's everything. You know, I'm not gonna spend all my time having sex, even though sex is gonna play a big part. I still would take the average because the rest of my time is gonna be consumed in toxicity. I'm good, beloved.
Yeah.
Like nope.
That's
not for me. Cause then it's just gonna end up draining you. You know.
Yeah.
Sex is eventually gonna just, take a toll.
Yes.
Like everything takes a toll when the rest of it surrounding it. You know.
Facts. Yeah. But I know some guys that are with some crazy girls, like in terrible relationships. But they're like, yo, like the pussy got me.
Sheesh.
Like that's it.
That wop.
That's not WAP. No, I'm on the same page as you guys. I would take like healthy, mediocre sex for the rest of my life if I had to, because that toxic shit's
Who wants
just
to deal with that?
It's
honestly,
too stressful.
All right, let me ask you guys some last question, and we'll wrap it up. If I was to call any one of your exes or any one of your exes and ask them, hey, just doing a quick survey here. Hey, it's Bob from down the street. Just doing a quick survey here. Wondering if you've had any toxic relationships, and was Cassidy that toxic? Would you be able? Would they be like, yeah, like that person was toxic?
Like, would one of my exes would think it was toxic, which wouldn't? I don't know. You know that Chrissy Teigen meme? Is it Chrissy Teigen? Yeah, that Chrissy Teigen meme that was like...
yeah. That was spot on.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
For anybody listening, that was so good. We're going to have to crop that. We're going to have to put the meme side by side. That was good.
Just put that face as the cover of the podcast. I think it would be like... maybe 50-50, to be honest.
Do you think he realized, like he noticed that you were toxic?
Who's he? He who shall not be named.
Voldemort.
Do I think that
he knew that you were toxic?
By the fucking end, he sure did. No, like shit blew up. Like the thing is that I'm not sure if he thinks like, oh, nah, she's toxic. Like, she's just a toxic person. I just think he genuinely thinks like, I'm a fucking piece of shit for what I did. Like for everything of what I, like for not wanting to be with him, for wanting to have sex with other people, like for wanting to date other people. Like
just in general, like it was like a bad ending.
Yeah, bad ending.
No love lost.
All like he hated. I remember like not even telling him that I was like that I wanted to first of all, I never told him that I ever had sex with anyone else because this dude would fucking flip. But I had mentioned to him once when we were already broken up, but we were still like talking and there was still potential like hope for the relationship. I asked him like, oh, so are you interested in like dating other people? And he was like, yeah, maybe like I might start dating. And I was like, okay, like, yeah, like I was thinking too, like I wanted to like possibly start dating. And then he was like, it was like, what?
Because it was you.
You would like start dating? Like, why would you do that? And I'm like,
after he just said he's open to dating?
Yes, but the reason why he was upset is because like I was the one that ended it. Like he was the one that was fighting for the relationship, So like he's like, yo, I'm fighting for this relationship, like, but you're not giving me anything back. I could date, but like you're supposed to be fighting for the relationship, so you shouldn't be dating type shit, like
that stings.
That's one perspective, not my perspective, but that's a perspective, right? So yeah, but can you imagine like just that reaction to dating? Like the whole like me even possibly like thinking about having sex with someone else was like, oh my god, like the worst thing I could have ever done. But now I have no shame when it comes to like my sex. Like I'm a sexually active person, like I can be committed and be like
tied up, we heard.
Yeah.
No,
You talking about?
no, I see what you mean. I see exactly what you mean. It can be like
Suffocating.
yeah, suffocating. You know,
Yeah.
that somebody trying to have like that power over you.
Yeah, it's just like you're like an expectation of like not being human.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude, I'm a human being. Like, I'm gonna have curiosities. I'm gonna want to experience things, especially if I only had sex with one person in my entire fucking life. Like, I'm sorry, this is not the 1920s when women did that. Like, not me at least.
So what you're saying is you believe in polygamy. That's for next episode.
Next episode. No, but what I'm to like bring it all together is the fact that like I don't know if he would consider me toxic or he just like fucking hates what I did or what I wanted to do, you know? Like I think he just really hates that I wanted to do what I wanted to do.
That's like a really good point because you can't, just because you don't like somebody's actions, you can't justify it just them being toxic.
Yeah.
Because of what they did, you know? Like you could have done something like break up with somebody or something like that. When I broke up with my ex, I'm sure she hated me, but I don't think she could, like, to answer the question I asked you guys, I don't think she could like straight up call me toxic. Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
Did I fail in certain aspects of our relationship? I feel I'm like every human. I feel like I did.
Yeah.
Or else maybe it would have worked out. I don't know. But was I toxic? I don't believe that, you know, because I was like loyal. I was respectful. I was there all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, I mean, that kind of wraps it up as far as toxic relationships and how we feel or how we've dealt with toxic relationships in the past. And we're not here to tell you that you necessarily have to deal with it this way or in any sort of way are we like portraying we did this because of them or whatever. We just dealt with the situation and we learned from it, just like you would in any other relationship.
Yeah,
if I knew what I knew then, I'd probably maybe would have got out sooner or something like that. But you know, we all learn it. People could tell you, be like, "Hey, that's not good for you," or But people could tell you what they want, you know. But you, at the end of the day, you have to learn. Sometimes you can learn from listening to people, and sometimes
you just have to live it.
You just have to go through it. Yeah. And once you go through it, you're like, "All right, took that one on the chin. Gotta keep it pushing."
Yeah.
You know, it's always about looking forward.
Yeah, I think that's good advice for both the person who's like a victim of a toxic relationship and the person that is toxic. Like, people can always change and always grow. So it's like, forgive yourself and forgive whoever else you need to forgive. Like, things always change and always just... life happens, you know?
It is what it is.
Eres what eres.
From the viewers, I kind of want to take a poll. Like, I don't know if we could do a poll on Instagram or something, because I feel like it's very one-sided. I feel like I'm the only person who likes healthy sex, or like who...
No, we said we like healthy sex.
Yeah, but you guys were very...
You just haven't had toxic sex. Once you had that,
nah, I'll talk to you.
You might be like, oh shit, let's rerun that poll.
You might reconsider. Get you a toxic girl, and just, you know.
No, don't do that.
No, I'm kidding. Enough of that.
No mas.
All right, guys. I want you guys. Thank you for listening. Episode 2 of Friends More Like Family. We will see you guys next time.
Peace.
Peace.
Later.